Hey, how's everyone doing on this Sunday fun day, or I like to call it Salsa Sunday because I'm normally cooking some type of salsa, or I don't know. I made some carne asada last week, chicken before that, but I always have some type of salsa brewing, so I like to call this Salsa Sunday. And it's time for my maybe someday world famous beer review, and this week I've got a special beer for you. I'm not sure how to pronounce this, Grolsch beer. It's brewed out of the Netherlands, Dutch, or Holland, New Holland, I don't know, Holland. Sorry about that. But this beer has been around since 1615. Okay, a guy named William Neerfeldt. William Neerfeldt started this brewery in, I don't know, a little town in Grolsch, I guess. He appointed a guy named Peter Coupier as his brewmaster, so to say, and Coupier had a thing for Jenniken, William Neerfeldt's daughter, and he was obsessed with making the perfect beer. Hey, you can't hate a man for that. So with this, he wanted to marry his daughter, but he could not do this with, he wanted to take over the company someday, but he could not do this without marrying into the family, because the beer, it got passed down from generation to generation, even though this was it's just the start of this. So it was 3 times the charm. He was trying to master his recipe for this beer, and finally, after the 3rd time, I guess it was a success. He ended up marrying Jenniken, and he went on to make lots of money. 1676, he went on to be chosen to be Guild Master of Brewers, which I'm going to assume is a badass title to have as far as that goes. And let's take a look at this bottle, man. I mean, I'm pretty super stoked. I'm not gonna lie, I've already had one of these. A little something about these is they are a little bigger. I think they're, I don't know, they're a little bigger. And 4-pack of these is freaking, gosh, let's see, there we go. 4-pack of these is like $10, man. So that will be not on my cheap beer review. But, hey, look. This bottle is, I don't know. This bottle is nicely designed with the Grolsch name on the side, their logo right there, my thumb, and the swing top. Now, a little something about the swing top. The swing top was introduced in 1897 with the porcelain cap, the rubber gasket, and the metal clamps. Okay, which you know what? I think I love that because A, you don't have to pour it all. B, you could probably save it for later. Like, I kind of tried that theory out and it did work. I mean, an hour later I came back and drank the rest of it, and it didn't seem to be flat or nothing. So, the swing top, hey, man, that's a pretty cool thing, I think, and that's just me. Beer's beer, but in my opinion, it had good flavor and everything, but we'll get into that when I start tasting it. I just want to give everyone, this beer review is a little different this week. I actually did a little bit of research on this. I do a little bit of research every time, but this one was a little worthy of just a beer review in itself, I felt. The beer has so much history, I can't possibly run it down to you. But as I go along and give you a little bit, like the 1897 swing top was introduced. 1960, they changed the swing tops. I don't know exactly what they did to those, but in 1960, they changed that. And 2008, I believe, they introduced a new green swing top, and like I said, I don't know the specifics about the change. with that or nothing, but it's definitely pretty interesting. The Grolsch went from one generation to another, and then finally, you know, as any other brewery, it gotten bought and sold several times and stuff, but they still kept it in the same place, and they introduced 3 different breweries. They had the Dutch market for the most part and didn't really export this beer until around 1972. 1972, they started exporting this beer to, I guess, you know, Canada, the States, Great Britain, all those places. 1980, they had a big campaign and stuff. Their campaign was they actually did a little advertising. Their little slogan was, "Craftsmanship is mastery," which, hey, they had a good point. And then, gosh, later on, their motto is, "One day you no longer drink beer, you drink Grolsch," which, hey, I like this beer company already. You know, they're doing a little bit of trash talking, but they're being a little bit classy about it, not going too far. May 13th, 2000, Fireworks Factory in, I don't know how to pronounce this, in Shudo Brewery. Okay, it's not spared. The Fireworks Factory catches on fire, burns down to the ground. They decide, you know, that that's not going to be the end of the beer, that they're going to build a brand new brewery, and in 2004, they line this beer brewery with the best of equipment, and they still keep this going. You know, this is a 400-year-old brewery that's lasted throughout the years, and honestly, after drinking this beer, I know why they've been in business for 400 years. And 2007, 2007, they changed the bottles a little bit. A new green transparent bottle with you know, the caps instead of the swing tops. And I don't know if that was introduced any earlier than that, but the new bottles were introduced around 2007. Probably the cool one I'm just showing you now. A Japanese group now owns the company. In 2000, I don't know, 2008 maybe, I don't know. Like I said, a Japanese group called Asahi, I think. Anyhow, enough of the history. The history behind this beer is phenomenal. Get on the website, read it. You know, I mean, a beer that survived 900, or not 900 years. I'm already drunk, apparently. 400 years is pretty freaking amazing. And let's get down to drinking this shit. All right. So I'll bust out my grunt glass, you know, the Marine Corps grunt glass. You know, they're well correct. All right, let's give this old swing top a pop. Ooh, look at that! I can tell you it has I smell the malt and the barley already just out of the bottle. We'll pour a little bit in here. Maybe I'll save it for later, you know, because it's got this cool ass swing top, or maybe not. Maybe I'll just chug it. But we're gonna clamp that back down. I love the swing top bottle. That should be something. I don't know. It's old school. Plus, I mean, you don't have to pour the whole beer. You can drink it later. So, which I don't know. I don't really drink beer later, God honestly. But you never know. Maybe I'm on my like 12th one or 20th one, and I don't want to throw it away, which who wants to throw any beer away? So it's got a great golden color. It's got a nice little head on it. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I could smell that malt and that barley smell, and you smell that in a lot of lagers. My glass isn't the proper glass probably for smelling, and somebody will ding me on that one, but Let's give it a test. Goes down nice and smooth, I ain't gonna lie. Has a nice flavor. It does have that malt and barley taste. It does have a little hoppiness to it, not much, but it's not an IPA, so I don't expect the hoppiness to be overwhelming like in the, you know, the craft beers and stuff. This is a good beer. It's a good lager. Like I said, once again, and thanks to my Marine Corps brother, Massimo, he suggested this week's beer review. Grolsch, I'm glad I did it. I've always heard about this beer. I've heard guys talking about it. Never drank it myself until now, and I'm glad I did. It's well worth the $10 for the freaking 4-pack that I purchased. Definitely not something you want to drink on a budget, but hey, if you can afford to drink it, I'd drink away, man. That ain't gonna lie. So let's see. You know what? I made some salsa last week. I still got some left because I make a crap ton of it. And let's just see. Maybe it pairs good with salsa. Who knows, man? You know, like I made carne asada burritos last week, and the Schlitz did okay. The PBR okay, you know? Like I said, am I probably going to go purchase those? Probably not. But if I'm out and about, someone offers me one, you know, the best beer is free beer, and your beer is what I've always been told. So I will never decline a free beer or your beer. So, hey, with that, don't tell them this is B-Rad. I dropped that chip in there. I'll fish it out. Yeah. It pairs well with a little spiciness of the food. And I'm ashamed, this salsa today is not that hot. I bought some local jalapenos, local tomatoes from Farmer's Market. Trying to, you know, stay local. Great quality and everything, but the jalapenos just were not that hot. So, let's just say I'm in Holland, right? You know, I go into a pub, you know, I don't know, man. I'm just making this up top of my head. Maybe it's some dirty little pub with a dirt floor, which is, you know, kind of like a dream of mine to go over to Ireland or something like that. You know, where the beer's room temperature, you know. And you just go in there, people are friendly, you're kicking them back, you're getting drunk, you're telling stories. Okay, some guy wants to challenge you to a beer chugging test. Well, I don't know. I'm feeling okay this week. Let's give it a try. Let's see if this is a lot of freaking beer, because this bottle's like a tall boy can. So, bottoms up. Goes down nice and smooth. Love it. I can't say enough good things about this beer. Well worth the money that you pay for it at the liquor store. And by all means, man, just like my Marine brother suggested, hey, Brad, do this beer. I'd love you to do this beer. And I am so glad, Massimo. Thank you, brother. And Gary Beckner, god dang, come and pick up your freaking salsa. I'm not a salsa delivery guy, all right? Stop that shit. And you know, thank God the hipsters did not make this beer any more popular, because it can't be any more expensive. You'd have to go to the bank and take out a loan. Damn hipsters, driving the price of beer up. Fuckers. Anyhow, enough with the hipsters. Let's go on to my closing segments. Hey, you know what? To each his own. I mean, America's built on a lot of things, you know, and it's everyone's interpretation with laws and where freedom and all that other shit stands, you know, and everyone's entitled to their opinion. And I work with someone very opinionated, and to each his own, okay? I don't necessarily agree with everything, but I do believe in educating yourself about government laws and the people that uphold these things. And actually, one thing I did learn from this individual is he's correct. You should talk about it. You know, you should talk about politics, you should talk about religion, educate yourself, have a political stand. But I'm not going to say my political stance on here because I'm an American. I love America. I'm a Marine. I'm a combat veteran, and I will always side with my fallen brothers and sisters and all my family in the military. And I will do anything for my family, that's for sure. And just because I don't agree with someone's policies or whatever, I'm not going to get on their pages and troll them and tell them that they're wrong or this, that, and the other thing. That's not me. But I'm not gonna hate anyone. I'm not gonna hate anyone that has their own opinion, because that's what America's about. You have your own opinion, and thank God I'm an American, and I'm proud to have served this great country. And it was just my honor to serve this country and to be somewhat the best freaking heroes in the world. You know, the heroes that sacrificed all. This one's to you, of course, Chesty fucking Puller. I'm still sipping on Lead Slinger Napalm Bourbon. It's a cinnamon. Has a really good taste. It's a veteran owned, I think, operated business out of Moore, Oklahoma. Give them a try. Like I said, I support any freaking veteran owned business. I try to. Admiral's Pennant for your beard. I bought some of that from that guy. Funny story before I leave y'all. Someone trolled him. He lost his legs in Afghanistan, and just a hell of a guy. But he owns a beard oil company, and he owns a barbershop. He's an entrepreneur, does a lot of things for the veteran community, like takes them out on hunts and shit like that. You know, guys who came back without legs, limbs, stuff like that. Trying to rehabilitate him, get him back in the... Anyhow, some guy was making fun of him or some crap, so I got on there, and someone made me a custom thing for my page, and it was like it was a bag of dicks, is what it was, in a paper bag, you know, like 12 of them. Then had like a thing that looked like Mountain Dew, but I'm sure it was piss. And so every time some troll gets on here, I ban them and then send them the bag of dicks. Your order's up, pussy's what it said. And Facebook put me in Facebook jail for a couple days. My wife couldn't figure out why. I was like, oh my God, you did it again, didn't you? I'm like, hey. You know what? I have on a couple occasions, I'm not going to lie, reported someone because of their bullshit. But then they didn't find anything wrong with them, even though they, you know, did some bullshit like I did. And, you know, I get in trouble for it. But anyhow, thank you guys so much for watching my channel. I appreciate everyone for taking the time to listen to my 20 minutes of rambling, my 20-minute fucking beer review. I am sorry these are so freaking long, but like I said, thank you guys. I'm giving you guys the James Manus freaking knife hand. Shit just got serious when I give you that. So till next week, thank you very much, and Semper Fi.